Adam box office. On today's movie news, the movie news headlines of the day. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Mirror Domain's Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. And on today's show, we're going to be talking about Agatha Harkness series. Okay. Howard the Duck movie? No, I don't think so. El Muerto is going to be coming out soon. And John Krasinski is going to be directing a new movie with Ryan Reynolds. We were going to start off the day talking about the Black Adam box office, but a trailer just dropped for a movie with David Harbour called Violent Night, where he plays a Santa Claus who must fight off some mercenaries that terrorize a family. Let's take a look at the log line. When a group of mercenaries attack the estate of a wealthy family, Santa Claus must step in to save the day and Christmas. So it's a comedy, right, guys? And it's going to be in the same kind of vein as perhaps like Bad Santa. John Leguizamo's in this. Cool. Beverly D'Angelo. Haven't seen her in a while. Okay. Well, guys, expect something that's going to be a little bit cheeky, right? Something that's not... hopefully fun. So, let's check out this trailer for Violent Night. Hit play, James. Okay, so...
driving, are you?
I steer a little, but the
yeah, it is... That is Bad Santa, right?
Fourth year of the Santa. How about you?
I started the whole damn thing.
Oh, so he is Santa. Okay, so it is going to have like that supernatural element to it. I thought he was just going to be playing like a mall Santa.
Early.
What is it?
That is a direct hotline to Santa Claus himself.
Byford Hobbit in live chat says, hey, how's it going, man?
Revelers. Welcome to your worst Christmas ever.
Okay, so Leguizamo's the bad guy. That's cool. Ooh, I like that shot.
$300 million in your personal vault.
He's gonna eat it up as the bad
what
guy.
I want for Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't want any trouble, okay? So I'm gonna scooch up that chimney.
Ooh. Oh, from nobody. Okay.
Because it's not your typical mall Santa.
No, it's not.
Santa, are you there?
Okay.
Adam said you were very busy tonight.
Is that Billy your balls in a stocking? And it looks like it's gonna be a bit violent.
Help us, Santa.
Yeah, Trudy.
Santa?
You're on my nice list. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yeah. Okay. On December 2nd.
Time for some season's beatings.
Season's beatings. There you go.
Who the hell are you?
Saint Nick.
Boss, what if he really is the
There's
real...
no such thing as Santa.
Oh. Obviously there is in this movie.
They're all on my naughty list. Naughty. That's naughty!
Okay, so this is
And what
perfect
do you do
use
to
of
the
David
naughty
Harbour.
ones?
I give him a lump of coal.
Where is it?
I gotta watch.
I believe in you, Santa.
Alright, they just spoiled the bad guy's demise there, but that's okay. Violent Night.
Come on. Which one of you did that? Prancer? So unprofessional.
Only in theaters December 2nd. What do you guys think about that trailer? I thought that was a lot of fun. Wow. Not what I was expecting. And it was cool to see John Leguizamo as the bad guy. Pomo's in the live chat says, I thought it was going to be like a mall Santa, like Bad Santa. Well, it started off like that. It did start off like that, right? With him drinking in a bar, kind of lamenting his decisions as being Santa. Yeah. But then you find out that the reveal in it right away is that he is the real Santa. And then we get the mercenaries coming in. I like that line here from Leguizamo that says,
Welcome to your worst Christmas ever.
yeah, that was cool. You know he's going to eat this up, right? I mean, look at him there with the gun. Yeah.
You have 300.
Come on. Yeah. And then it's got that cheekiness to it in the script, in the writing, right? Where it's like, my beating list or something. What does he say?
Santa Claus is coming to town. Time for some season's beatings.
Season's beatings. Season's beatings, guys. What do you think about that trailer for Silent or Violent Night? Season's beatings. I wish they put that on the poster there. Okay. Good trailer. It's got me interested. Coming out at Christmas, December 2nd. Only in theaters, guys. Violent Night. What do you think about that? Wow. Not quite what I was expecting, but what an interesting way to start off the show. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Hourglass Viking says, holy crap, Violent Night was definitely not what I was expecting. This is awesome and seasonally dark for St. Nick. Indeed. I wonder what Tim Allen will think of this Santa film, Bomo says. Yeah. Well, it's definitely not for the kids, and they've made sure of that, right? What was the rating on that? Rated R. Okay, so it's rated R. Yeah, and definitely. If it's from the people who made Nobody, for sure. For sure. What a fun little way to start off the stories for today's movie news headlines, guys. If you don't know, we do it daily, 12 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday. You can follow me there on all the other social media handles where, hey, you know, some of those small little shorts that we do, you can see extended versions of those on TikTok and Instagram. All right, let's get into the main stories that we started off with the Black Adam box office. Expected to make huge cheddar. Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam tracking for a bullish $70 to $75 million opening. Okay, so this is in 2 weeks, guys. Next week opens, Halloween ends is next weekend, and then the 21st is when we get Black Adam. So they're projecting 70 to 75 million for October. I think that's... I think it can make that mark. Because I like the trailers for it. It's going to be our first big... Well, it's actually our first big movie in a while, right? Like, we've had Bullet Train, but it's mostly been smaller releases. Nothing too huge. There's been good movies like Smile, but, Black Adam is going to be our first return to the big box office blockbuster, right? 70 to 75 million is what they're projecting here with a domestic take. So it's going to make over 100 million worldwide for sure, at least. Opening October 21st to the 23rd, if not higher. So they actually think Sony's origin movie Venom, which opened to 80 million in October. Okay. Well, yeah, so then it can definitely make... It can definitely make 70 to 75 million, if not more. Yeah. Because, hey, this is returning to DC, right? And it's The Rock. I like the trailers. For sure. For sure. So, guys, when this opens up, make sure that you watch my straight out of the theater reaction for it, because we will be doing that for sure. I'll be seeing it on the Thursday night. Thursday is the 20th, right? October 20th. Yeah, so I'll be seeing it then, and I'll let you know what are my thoughts. So this weekend we only have like Lyle Crocodile and Amsterdam. Then next weekend we have Halloween Ends, and then after that we got we got Black Adam, and then the Banshees of Inisherin, which I want to see too. So there you go. 70 to 75 million. I think that's a lot of cheddar. They're going to be swimming in it, guys. They're going to be swimming in the dough. For sure. For sure. I believe that. I think that's an achievable goal. All right. Are you going to go see Pray for the Devil? Pomo says. Well, I don't know, guys. I just gave you my rundown here for October, which is on my radar. Not Lyle Crocodile. I'm going to see Amsterdam this weekend. Next weekend is Halloween Ends. And then Black Adam and... Banshees of Inisherin is what I want to see too. So that's like 4 right there. Hey, I'm not a wealthy man, but I'll get out to the theater and I'll see these things. Don't worry. I'll try to find a copy somewhere. All right, what's next? Rust. this is the big story that's been splashed all over the big trades, guys. So it's kind of hard to avoid this. Remember that movie where Alec Baldwin shot the director of photography by accident? By accident, right? That there was a loaded weapon and killed her. Well, apparently they've reached a settlement with Halnia Hutchins' estate, who was she was the DP who got unfortunately killed. And I guess part of that settlement is that they're going to have the husband or somebody attached to executive produce now as part of the settlement. So if you go and read all these articles today, guys, what you need to know from this is that it sounds like production is going to resume on Rust again in January. It doesn't sound like there's going to be any criminal charges for Mr. Baldwin because of this settlement. Settlement means that they come to some other agreement not to press charges or anything like that. So that's what's happening. And by the sounds of them granting Matthew Hutchins an executive producer role, I think it seems, for me, the impressions that I get from that is that they've kind of made their peace. They've come to the understanding that it was an accident. He's accepted it, and they've come to some monetary settlement and arrangements that will allow the movie to go forward. I know some people will try to read into this more and stuff like that and try to, I don't know what, build up conspiracy or stuff like that, or try to, conform it to their political views, but I don't have any interest in that. All you need to know from me, from the movie fan side, from the movie news side, is that the movie's going to be back up into production. So you're going to see this movie's not going to get buried. It's going to see the light of day. Director Joel Souza says, those of us who were lucky enough to have spent time with Helena knew her to be exceedingly talented, kind, creative, and a source of incredible positive energy. I only wish the world had gotten to know her under different circumstances, as it would have through her amazing work. As it surely would have through her amazing work. Okay. Yeah. So that's a rather long statement there, but pretty much those are the basics of what you need to know. If you want to read a lot of it here, go over on Deadline or Hollywood Reporter, Variety. They'll all have it up as their main story. Let's see what some of the comments here. Hopefully they're not too bad here. Filming to resume in January, ? After all, what happened? They're going to continue this production? Well, it sounds like it there, Tommy. Anonymous says, wait, they're going to continue making the movie? Yeah, so some people are a little bit confused by that, right? You would think that if something like that, like a tragedy happened like that they would just kind of move on from the project. But if the family of the person who got killed is behind it and wants them to resume, that's pretty much what's happening. I'm not going to dwell too much on that story, guys. If you want to, as I said, if you want to go read the little more nuanced details of it there, I don't want to bog down the show with getting into that stuff. Art Glass Viking says, I never expected them to go through with the Rust after the accident. Must be thinking that the negative publicity will be enough to sell it. Well, I don't know. But you got to also think that it's the other people on the set too, right? It's like it's a big production, right? At first glance, yes, the immediate thought would be to not continue the project, but they didn't stop the Crow when Brandon got shot, right? So Brandon Lee on the Crow, they didn't stop that, so they finished it, and it sounds like Rust is going to be finished. So there you go. That's what you need to know. Yesterday, during the Twitter roundup, we talked, we saw the movie poster for the upcoming Mario movie. Mario movie poster subtly hints at his biggest missing game character. Well, let's take a look at that poster again here, guys. Yeah, some people pointed out, well, where's Luigi? We see lots of toads there. Okay, so who's in this cast? Guys, we know that Mario is going to be played by Chris Pratt, and Bowser is going to be Jack Black. Ooh, Anya Taylor-Joy is going to be Princess Peach. Cool. But it does list here Charlie Day as Luigi. So even though that we don't see him in the poster, he's going to be in the movie, guys. Seth Rogen is going to be Donkey Kong. Cool. Keegan-Michael Key's Toad. Spike. Not too many. Oh yeah, and then the trailer, it says, our Glass Viking says the trailer's going to be out tomorrow. So that'll be cool. I can't wait to see. Jack Black is going to nail it as Bowser. So this will be a story that's it'll follow us here throughout the week, because I'm curious to see how this goes down. I'm sure it's just going to be a typical Bowser has kidnapped the princess and they've got to go save her. But I think it's going to work good in the animated form. Seeing it in live action, I said this yesterday too, seeing a live action Mushroom Kingdom may not translate all that well. The only other person that we're not really quite seeing is a Yoshi, right? And this article up on Screen Rant kind of points that out. It brought it to my attention why Yoshi needs to be in the Mario movie, because Yoshi is a fan favorite. And don't make him like a weird small dinosaur kind of thing like they did in the live action movie. That didn't work. But I'm excited for this actually. 2024 is when this comes out, right? Or 2023. Yeah, April 2023 is when the Mario film comes out. So yeah, the trailer tomorrow. Hey guys, that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow for the news. Or if it drops later today, I'll maybe even publish a trailer reaction for it. All right. But that's pretty much what you need to know. John Krasinski directs again, but he's going to be directing Ryan Reynolds. Cool. What's this? John Krasinski's If plot, cast, release date, and everything else we know. If. Okay, so If stands for Imaginary Friends. Imaginary Friends. Ooh, Byford the Hobbit donates $50. Wow, in the live chat, movie tickets are expensive. Indeed they are, and I will put it to good use. I'm starting to think that when I go to these, when I come out of these movie screenings, I may give shout-outs to people like Byford the Hobbit there and Our Glass Vikings. Thank you very much, man. Very much appreciated. And as I said, I will put it to good use. Imaginary Friends, directed by John Krasinski. So this is something that he's going to work on in between his, what was it? He was going to do like a prequel to A Quiet Place, right? But it's going to have Ryan Reynolds. Steve Carell is going to be in this. Oh, and he's going to be starring in it too. Fiona Shaw. We just saw her in Andor, which we're going to be doing episode 5 later on today, guys. For sure. Louis Gossett Jr. Cool. Bobby Moynihan. He's from SNL, right? Imaginary Friends. Okay, so what do we know about this? Imaginary Friends. It sounds very interesting. I like the cast. Fantasy comedy. The film carries an impressive cast. Okay, so I think it did give a little bit of a synopsis about the plot. But hey, if it's got Ryan Reynolds in it, I'll be looking forward to this. Not much regarding the storyline of the film is known. From what we gather, the narrative will center on a man who can interact with other people's imaginary friends. Okay. And obviously that man is going to be Ryan Reynolds, who can interact with people's imaginary friends. Yeah. Wow. And this is the brainchild of John Krasinski. That's cool. That's really cool. The movie description on IMDb says a child's journey to rediscover their imagination. Well, that's not what it says here. Plot under wraps. Okay. Hollywood Reporter provided a bit more of a description. The tale of a man who can see and talk to people's imaginary friends, befriending those that have been forgotten or discarded. However, some imaginary friends lacking love and friendship turn to the dark side, and it's up to Reynolds' character to save the world from those that become evil. Evil? Okay, but it would be cool to see these two acting again, Steve Carell and John Krasinski. If you ever watched that version of The Office, I never did. So, there you go. Good cast, though, right? Oh, we got a set photo. So there they are on set. John Krasinski and Ryan Reynolds get to work filming their upcoming movie Imaginary Friends at Coney Island. See the set pics. Okay, well, that's cool. That's really cool. Did they give a release date for this? Expected May 24th, 2024. So it's still more than a year. It's like, what is that, 18 months away now, or 20 months? It's a long way. Okay. Well, you know what? If they're shooting it now, I suppose, depending on when it finishes, like around January, yeah, I could see that, a year in post. Like, how is it going to have visual effects in it? Maybe that's why it'll take so long in post. In an interview with ET in June, Carell expressed the chance to work with Krasinski again. Well, I haven't started work on that film yet, but I can't wait. I'm anticipating just joy and fun. I mean, he's the best, and he's a great director, and that he is. Because if you've seen the Quiet Place movies, I'm totally on board with that. Totally on board with that. Imaginary Friends. Ryan Reynolds, John Krasinski working together, guys. That sounds very, very interesting. Black Panther is the talk. Well, because the big trailer dropped this week, right? Black Panther Wakanda Forever star Winston Duke comments on recasting T'Challa. And that's something that came up a lot. Even before the trailers, even after they announced it, especially after Boseman passed. It's kind of like people were saying, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to recast him? And, is it M'Baku there, played by Winston Duke, weighed in on a podcast he was with from Jameel Hill. If you want to watch it, go over there and check out that link from Jameel Hill. But the quote basically said, because I was on that camp too, that they should just recast him. But I think of this iteration of Black Panther, he says, it's very hard for me to really comment on something like that, because I'm on the mind that this is Chadwick's role. Chadwick created this, and Black Panther wouldn't be the same without Chadwick Boseman, who stood for the things that he stood for. When you cast a person, you're also casting their experiences, you're casting their politics, you're casting their all of these things. Black Panther was heavily defined by the actor that did it, in my opinion. So he wouldn't be on board with it. He sounds like it's very much Chadwick's role, and it is. It's going to be hard to see his visage there and have them all pay respects to his passing, for sure, in the film. But he's on the side that he would prefer not to have recast it, and we don't know yet. We don't know if it's going to make sense to the story that they're going to tell, right? By the end, the final shot of the trailer, when I'm guessing that it was Shuri that landed down in the new costume, I'm fine with that. I know it goes against the lore, but that's fine. Just wait, trust Ryan Coogler. I do, guys. It's coming out in just over a month, so the hype is going to get built for this for sure. Pushkan Verma says Superman cameo confirmed. Are you talking about the Black Adam there? There's talks that perhaps that there could be a Henry Cavill Superman cameo at the end of Black Adam. And actually, there's been talks about Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot have been spotted in Hollywood, or in LA again, that perhaps they've been reshooting scenes for The Flash. Apparently, because we know that Zaslav has taken over that again, right? And he's got that 10-year plan. That's he wants to make Superman and Batman the backbone of that 10-year plan. And hopefully they got Cavill back to do small things like this, set up the next story with him in it. And if he's in a cameo with Black Adam, we know Black Adam will fight Superman at some point. We know he'll fight Shazam at one point. So I'm guessing once Shazam comes out, Black Adam will be in a post-credit for Shazam Fury of the Gods. And then they'll have their fight, or I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think Black Adam will fight Superman first or Shazam? I don't know. But yeah, I heard those. It's not confirmed. Nothing is confirmed yet, guys. It's all just still rumor there. So I mostly try to talk about substantiated stuff here. It's fun to talk about though. So for sure, by all means, bring it up, and I'll let you know what I know about it. For sure. All right. Agatha Harkness. Coven of Chaos is coming out soon. Next year, right? Will Scarlet Witch cameo in Agatha's WandaVision spinoff? Olsen responds. Yeah, I guess she was on the late night circuit, Elizabeth Olsen, and she was asked, because they're filming this now, I think, if it comes out next year. Agatha, and yeah, She was a real standout in WandaVision, for sure. Catherine Hahn, fantastic actress. And you could tell that she really loved playing that role. She ate that up. But we got a quote here from Elizabeth Olsen while she was on the E.T. Online. She was on an interview with E.T. Online, and she was asked about Coven of Chaos. She says, I mean, no, but I would love to pop up. I love Catherine. I don't want to leave her side ever. I'm so grateful she's here tonight. We do think, gosh, we just got to do it again. We just had a really great time making that show. And with Paul, it was really a special time. And so we would love to get the gang back. But what's going to happen to, like, spoiler alert for Doctor Strange 2, they say that she died destroying the book, the bad book, right? Well, I don't think she would have died because she's that powerful, right? She just collapsed the tower, the mountain that the book was, the shrine that it was at, right? So we'll have to see the Darkhold, right? Yeah, that's what this is called, the Darkhold. But I hope they bring back her. I hope she comes back and hope she gets some redemption. Because after WandaVision, Wanda was my favorite character in the MCU. And then to see what they did with her, and yeah, the further I get away from Doctor Strange 2, I'm kind of like, bummer, man. Because I liked her. I did. But you know what? If they do some flashbacks or something, because they're going to have to explain how she gets out of Westview, right? How Agatha gets out of Westview. I'm sure it'll tell a little bit about her, more of her backstory. Yeah, there could be a cameo there of Scarlet Witch there coming in. You know, Elizabeth Olsen that said that she would be up for it. Is it on the docket here? Let me just take a look. I don't think so. No, it's not on the official schedule just yet. But I would be looking forward to that. Illumination and Nintendo. What a great collaboration. Yeah. Arglass Viking says, I didn't think Agatha Harkness warranted a spin-off show, but Catherine was a great on-screen presence. Needs a bigger threat like Mephisto. Yes, exactly. And if you want to go down, finally give us Mephisto, because it's on everybody's mind. Give it to us. One more story about the Agatha spin-off there is Emma Caulfield joins WandaVision spin-off Agatha Coven of Chaos. So we saw her in WandaVision, right? She was one of the town folk. So it does sound like we're going to go back to Westview if she's coming back. Maybe she's going to help Agatha break her bond. We'll have to see. Any comments here? A spin-off of a spin-off. How exciting. Well, yeah. Well, actually, that kind of makes sense, right? It is a spin-off of a spin-off. But I think it'll be handled okay. But one of the actors from WandaVision is coming back for Agatha Coven of Chaos. At least we got two of them. I hope Elizabeth Olsen comes back, at least in small form. You know, just perhaps maybe at the ending. You know, just like a post-credit scene at the ending, setting up in like another season of something. That's what I would like to see. But it's supposed to be coming out next year sometime. No official release date yet, guys. But Agatha Coven of Chaos. What do you guys think about that? All right, let's stick with the MCU. Since we're there, Howard the Duck movie. This is not really much, guys, but I thought it was fun. This is just kind of fun. Original star Leah Thompson wants to direct a Howard the Duck movie for the MCU. Now, I grew up watching this version of Howard the Duck, in which I saw, this is the MCU version of the Howard the Duck, right? That we saw at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy. But Leah Thompson with the big hair in the 80s. I must say, I must admit, I was slightly infatuated with her, even though I was just a young man at the time. Not even a man. But, okay, so she says that she would like to direct a Howard the Duck movie, guys, but apparently, you know, it's a bit crass, right? The actual comic. And it kind of got shelved. But you know what? Leah Thompson herself has become quite the director. She can direct, and I would love to see her actually get a big project like this. But she was on the Tonight Show, where she said she's been directing sci-fi shows recently. Yeah. I think she did an episode of The Mandalorian, didn't she? Well, see, I've been wanting to. I've been in a pitch to pitch a Howard the Duck movie with Chip Zdarsky, who did the comic book, the last run of Howard the Duck comic book. He put me on the cover, and so we went in and pitched it. I've been directing a lot of sci-fi big shows to learn how to direct special effects and all that. But yeah, I've tried to learn all my special effects just in case Marvel calls. You need some more women directors. I know, hey, I'm on board with that. And you can't get any more talented than Leah Thompson. Not only because she's a great talent in front of the camera. Like, I mean, come on. She was Back to the Future. Let's take a look at her directing credits. Let's pay some respects here. 61 years old. She's aged marvelously. All right. I'm sure she'll have her acting credits up first. Yep. So she's still acting. Let's take a look at her directing. Stargirl. Oh, no, Star Trek Picard she did. Not Mandalorian. So yeah, that's right. She did parts of Picard season 2. That's right. And she did good in that. I actually like Picard season 2. I can't wait for Picard season 3. I hear good things. Stargirl, she did. Resident Alien. Sorry. I was going to say Resident, I don't know. Goldberg's. So a lot of TV stuff. And she's actually kind of built up her resume a little bit here. Cool. As a director. I'd be on board for that. Leah Thompson. Let's see if they got a picture of her directing there. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think she could direct. Obviously not with the big hair. But a Howard the Duck movie, yeah. They were talking about it, but once you realized, well, why did Marvel turn down that movie? It's because, well, I think it was because perhaps it was just a bit too crass. Our Glass Viking says, I never seen Howard the Duck or even Hudson Hawk. Should I? Yeah. It's cheesy, though, guys. It's very cheeky. I like it mostly because of Leah Thompson, and Tim Robbins is in it. Tim Robbins is in the Howard the Duck movie. But he goes to work at a very questionable bathhouse. Yeah. It's that kind of humor. And who was it? Was it Seth Green that did the voice in the MCU? It was just one line, right? But I would be up for that. Why can't you make a Howard the Duck movie? Make it more for older people. Don't target it towards younger kids like George Lucas did. Because George Lucas made the first one, right? He was behind making this version. And it didn't pull any punches in some areas. Play duck. That's all I'm going to say. Keeping with, well, it's sort of Sony. This is Sony. El Muerto, Jonas Cuarón, I think is how you pronounce that. I don't know, I'm not Spanish. To direct Bad Bunny in Sony's new Marvel film. They have another spin-off. You know how we've already had, Morbius. We're going to get Craven. We're going to get Madame Web. And now we're going to get El Muerto. Right? Sony's new Marvel film. Well, I don't know if it's really Marvel because it's under that umbrella of questionable. Is it part of the Spider-Man universe or not? It's under that Morbius kind of umbrella of, we don't know if it's tied in or not, right? We don't know. But Bad Bunny is going to be playing El Muerto. I don't know anything about his acting credits at all. Bad Bunny. Do I know him? Bad Bunny. Let's see what he's acted in. Has he ever? He's a singer. Okay, so he's a singer. Why am I not seeing an IMDb page for you, man? That's not good. That's not a good sign. Okay, so he's been in 103 things. Mostly music videos. Okay, so he hasn't really acted in anything. Oh, he was in Fast 9 as the lookout. So that would be a small role. A lot of music videos. Oh, Bad Bunny as El Muerto. I don't know a thing about this character, guys. I don't know a thing. Is that what he looks like? Okay, so he's got like the luchador mask. So people are going to be saying that he's the MCU version of Bane, pretty much, right? But he's like he wants to be an enemy of Spider-Man, El Muerto. Is that what you're saying? I really don't know much about this character. Sony's just taking these side characters and they should be part of the MCU proper, but because they're not making those direct ties, they probably won't make those direct ties. If you put the MCU title in here, Marvel, people will just naturally assume. But no, guys, it's Sony's. It's under Sony. Okay. I think they got the release date here, right? It's expected January 12th, 2024. Bad Bunny was was he in Bullet Train? Comments here. I'm not sold on it because of the cast. Bad Bunny, okay, he was the guy that came in with a knife and his wife died at the wedding kind of thing. Okay, I remember him. That guy shouldn't be playing that role, period. Says Batty. Okay. Well, he doesn't have a big resume. Great choice for director. I just hope Quran does a script polish and actually gets a real actor instead of a music star. Well, I hope they're not making the same mistake that Neil Blomkamp did by casting music stars as their lead actors. It does give me pause. But I'll tell you this. When I saw him in Bullet Train for the small role that he was, Bad Bunny, he did okay. And if they keep it a very flat cardboard type character, just like the way The Rock started out, guys, Bad Bunny could possibly do that. But as I said, I know absolutely nothing about this character, El Muerto. I guess 10 years later, J. Jonah Jameson set up a charity event, a wrestling match, in which El Muerto would fight Spider-Man. Okay. But of course, Spider-Man's not going to show up in this, guys. It's going to be just all about this character. We'll have to see. I don't know. January 2024. Our Glass Viking says, if the Howard the Duck was like Ted, I'd be all over it. And I think that's the way they would go if they made a Howard the Duck movie for sure. Byford the Hobbit says, Ted was better. I like the first one. There was one joke in the second one that got me when they announced they announced Jonah Hill as the new Batman or something. And the response to it was kind of funny. Ted had its charms. Howard the Duck looks dated. Could do with a modern take. It could. It definitely could. And to have it, if it was going to be that crass humor and you were going to get somebody like Leah Thompson behind that, I would be on board for that. That would be awesome. All right, guys. I totally forgot to do my little commercial break. Well, we can do that right now. All right, guys, you're watching Mirror Domains. If you don't know how this channel works, we do the movie news live daily, 12 p.m. Eastern, but we also do other things like full live watch-alongs for House of the Dragon on Mondays. 1:30 p.m. is when we do these things, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Episode 7 just dropped in. It was a good episode, a bit dark in some areas, but I fixed it when we did our watch-along, guys. Andor, episode 5, later on today, 1:30 p.m., just about in 50 minutes. We'll be watching episode 5. I can't wait for that. The assault on the base there. I hope to see good things, some good quality action. 1:30 p.m. today, guys. And on Thursdays, we do She-Hulk. Episode 8 this week, guys. Episode 8. So that series is just about wrapping up because it's got 9 episodes, right? 9 episodes in that. And then we do the Rings of Power on Fridays, 1:30 p.m. as well. And that series is really coming along. We'll be talking about Rings of Power here towards the end of the show here too. There's a story that came up. I really enjoyed last week's episode for sure. And on the weekend, we do the Horror Weekly Roundup where we talk about all the big horror movie news headlines that dropped during the week. And Yeah, sometimes we talk about some spoilers there too. It was cool. And of course, today, yeah, we do the movie news headlines. All right, let me just take a spot of water here. And of course, then we do all these little shorts here and there and stuff like that. Highlights, trailer reaction highlights and stuff like that. So you're going to find something that you like here on the channel. We do full live watch-alongs for movies like Predator, Prey, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I think later on this week, I think on this Saturday, well, we're going to be doing Mr. Harrigan's Phone. Mr. Harrigan's Phone, which is just dropped on Netflix today. I may even do it later today, actually. Mr. Harrigan's Phone. Yeah. That's that movie with Donald Sutherland and Jaden Martell, where he befriends an old man, and the old man dies, and he puts his cell phone in his pocket, and then the cell phone starts ringing him at night, telling him to do strange things. Based on a Stephen King story. The guy from It. That dropped today, so I don't know if maybe later on today. If not, we'll do it on Saturday, guys. We'll do a full live watch along for that. And on Friday, Hellraiser drops, guys. So I'll be posting my live watch along for that. Not my live watch along. My full watch along for that on Friday. Oh, it's going to be a busy week. All right, let's get back into the stories. Enough of this foolishness. American Pie. Yeah. We talked about this last week, right? There's going to be a new American Pie movie, and we saw that they just plan to make another story within this universe, right? Yeah. So it's going to be taken over by Sujata Day, star of Insecure. I guess she came in and pitched a script for American Pie 5. Or I don't even know if it's going to be called American Pie 5. It's just going to be probably just going to be called American Pie. It's going to have nothing to do with these characters, which I think is a huge mistake. They said the long-awaited sequel will be a fresh take on the original movies rather than a continuation of the franchise old storylines. But apparently it was a good pitch. And we talked about that's all we got last week. And some people have weighed in here saying that well, they already tried spin-offs in the same universe, which they're said that they want to do with American Pie, Bandcamp, and stuff like that. Those movies didn't work. Here's what I would say, and I kind of agree with this article that's up on Screen Rant saying American Pie 5 still needs the original cast because these guys had good chemistry. Make it about their kids. Why not? They're old enough now. Make it about their kids. Or their struggles as parents, for sure. There's still some gold there. Because when we looked at this story last week, American Pie Reunion, or American Reunion, which is the fourth one, made over $230 million at the box office, guys. So there's still an audience for it. I feel I wouldn't totally jettison it yet, but you could interestingly work a way. You can work a way. For Stifler to be back in there, with Jim and the old team. I think there's a way you could do it, for sure. I think just trying to retell it with a younger cast. This article does a good job in calling that out, saying that they've already done things like what was it, Booksmart, Blockers, Do Revenge, that was out on Netflix. Are very much like that American Pie, right? Booksmart, definitely. That was that Olivia Wilde, her first movie, right? So yeah, within that flavor, right, of coming of age, going through the trials and tribulations that are, that come along with that, especially that, what was that Play-Doh scene or something, then Booksmart. There's a weird scene like that, right? Like, yeah. There's a way to update it, but I don't know. Well, I'll keep my ear to the ground on this one because I am a fan of that franchise, for sure. All right, let's talk about this new segment called the Backlash Corner. This is a bunch of stories that I've kind of grouped together to talk about people claiming backlash against their properties. And I should have talked about this at the start of the show because I think this hopefully will become something of a bigger thing on the channel. But we start off the Backlash Corner talking about Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills director opens up about sequel backlash. Well, because Halloween Ends comes out next week, and the same writer and director, David Gordon Green, addresses Halloween Kills critical and audience backlash. Because Halloween Kills was mixed for people. I was somewhere, I didn't hate the film, but I also didn't love it. That whole chant at the end, tonight evil must end. It just, oof. And then the fake out of the death, and then he's not really death. But we got a quote here from the director himself, Green, talking about it being unresolved, and yet the unresolved ending. Maybe I need to rewatch Halloween Kills before Halloween Ends next week. I will do that. So his quote starts off by saying, to me, psychologically, the whole point of the movie is kind of unraveling things that are not resolving things. And not resolving things. What? To me, psychologically, the whole point of that movie, Halloween Kills, is to kind of unraveling of things and not resolve things. There's a lot of people that when they see an ending like that, or that kind of unresolved chaos, they get frustrated as a moviegoer. Right here, guys. Right here. For me, that's just part of the fun. And when we get to come in and tidy it up with the last one. So any frustration that was expressed about the last one, I kind of smile and say, hold on tight, here we come. What? No, that's bad storytelling. No, guys. I don't know what you were thinking about. Like, Rings of Power, like, don't hold stuff back with the idea that, oh, will make sense in the sequel or in the next episode. No, that's not good storytelling. Give it to us all in this one. And we know that there's going to be a time jump because Halloween Ends was supposed to take place directly right after Halloween Kills, but they put a 4-year time gap for him, the director Green, to tell this coming of age story. And we've seen quotes that they're not going to explain where Michael was or what he was doing. He's just going to show up, and there you go. 4 years later. I don't know if that's going to land with audiences. Reading these kinds of statements from him, I don't know if he's got a firm grasp on what he is doing. It's funny. Oh, it's funny, huh? All the backlash is funny to you? See, as an executive producer, I'd be like, dude, no. No. Yeah, because it's so subjective what people want to see in these movies. Some people just want literally to watch the original film. No, that's not true. You're not going to remake that. So then, yeah, he tries to go on and justify some of the choices there. Now, as I said, I didn't hate Halloween Kills. But people did complain about it, and I understood where their complaints came from. I did. Halloween Ends hits theaters next Friday, guys, October 14th, and on Peacock. We'll have to see if his master plan of holding things over will work out for him. I'm kind of doubtful, though. It's the 4-year time jump that gives me pause. And if he's doing this so-called coming-of-age thing, and that trumps the Laurie Strode and Michael Myers storyline, if that gets in the way in any shape or form, then I think people will not like Halloween Ends. But that's some of the backlash there. Let's continue on with that backlash a little bit, because Halloween Kills was 40%. Yeah, meh. Some more backlash here. Let's the Rings of Power showrunners break silence on backlash. Sauron, because they just announced season 2. Now, I've been enjoying the Rings of Power, and we do full live watch-alongs on Fridays, as we said. Season 2 is starting to film right now in England. So they moved it from New Zealand to England. But they go on and talk about some of the so-called, they call it review bombing, because critics liked it, but fans hated it. And they go on to address in this rather lengthy interview up on Hollywood Reporter where they talk about expectations and stuff like that, familiar stuff like, well, you know, fans of the lore may not be on board with what we're doing right now. And you see that in people's reviews. It's kind of, well, Galadriel wouldn't act like that. She wasn't like that in the books. What are you doing? I don't recognize this. You are trash. It's kind of like, but for me, it's kind of like, give it a chance, guys. And that's sort of what they say here too, is that they've, you know, she's going to evolve into the person that we know from the movies. People who've read the books, I can understand that you have, you know, an attachment to the lore. Speaking as a Star Wars fan who read, you know, the expanded universe stuff, getting all of that stuff shelved and pushed to the side was a bummer. And I can relate to that if you're a Tolkien fan and you're kind of like, but I wouldn't let it get in the way of the storytelling that they're telling now. And where I don't agree with these two guys, the showrunners, let me give you their names here. McKay and J.D. Payne. Patrick McKay and J.D. Payne. They've come together. And they didn't have a big resume before getting this property, but they're big fans of it. They had to fight the studio over multiple things, apparently, because the studio wanted them to just remake the original series, and they're like, no, that can't happen. And then they wanted them to make a Gandalf and Aragorn spin-off, and there was like, no, that's not going to work either, because people just, they want those ties right away to the original series. And they came up with this story, of the younger Galadriel and Sauron sort of coming to power, right? They're telling that story. Now, the criticisms and the backlash of people saying that the story is a little bit slow to get going, I totally agree with that. If you tell me that the story is disjointed, there's too many storylines set up with people all over the place. We're 6 episodes in, and we still have no idea how the Harfoot's storyline fits into this narrative. We're 6 episodes in, and there's only 2 episodes left, guys, in this season. So what they've done is exactly what the guy from the director of Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends did, is that they held back some of the story, and knowing that they're going to make a season 2, they held back some of that story, which is a big mistake. And that's part of the criticisms and backlash that you're seeing from Rings of Power. And this is a rather lengthy article. It's up on Hollywood Reporter, guys. So I recommend that if you are a fan of Rings of Power, you'll find this is a good read. I'm somebody who's on board with Rings of Power. I'm enjoying it. I really am. And I can't wait to see more. I can't. But if you were to tell me that you didn't like how slow it started off, and I totally agree with that too. I wouldn't fault you for that. The only way that I would say, if you're faulting it because it's not following some of the lore that they've established in the books, just give it a chance. Like, take a deep breath and put that aside. Because you know what? I do that with Star Wars, which is my big thing. I did it with the books. I did it with the sequel trilogy. It's kind of like, those are not my Star Wars movies. I just don't acknowledge it. But I enjoy what they've been what other things they put in front of me, like Solo and Rogue One. Especially Rogue One, right? And all the TV stuff now with Andor. So, you know, it's not for everybody, but this article does address some of that backlash that Rings of Power is getting. But I think it's a little bit unjustified too. And I think I like Morveth Clark there as Galadriel. Just give her a chance, guys. Give her a chance. That's what I say. Okay, rounding out some other backlash news. She-Hulk and Jamil calls out hostile viewers, says that it doesn't appeal to everyone. And yeah, it doesn't. It's not meant to appeal to everyone. I like her makeup. I like this very Peggy Bundy wig that she's got on. I don't know anything about her work before this, but I thought she was fun in those episodes. I guess she was on an interview on Monday, talking about this, and she said she was on Twitter, right? People were saying, "Well, why are so many men so upset? Are you all okay? Because you get the misogynist people out there, people that just have to be outraged about something kind of thing. Raging about She-Hulk, saying that they hate men and stuff like that. No, they don't. It's like, every man in here is stupid. Why are you paying attention to that? That's not... Well, anyway, I agree with her. She says that, to be clear, it's absolutely fine if you personally don't like She-Hulk. I know it doesn't appeal to everyone. Some people effing love it. Yeah, like me. I like it. But can we all agree that you don't need to be so hostile when you express your feelings to me? Oh, so some people were talking bad to her about it? Oh, then I'm definitely in her corner. I'm in her corner. Right there. We're all fans. Let's talk nicely. Oh, good. And you know what? She tries to, broker the peace. That's good for her. Cool. I dig her. I even respect her a lot more now. Jamila Jamil. She was fun in the episodes that she was in. I don't expect to see her back. I think her storyline's pretty much done. Titania. She-Hulk. From Titania. Yeah. I dug it. All right. I think that's it for her. No, we got one more story in the... No. Oh, yeah, one more. One more. The story that just won't go away. Bros came out this week, and Bros cost $22 million. An LGBTQ rom-com about two guys. $22 million. Only made $4 million at the box office. And people are up in arms as to why this cost so much money. Well, it apparently had a scene in it that had a $30,000 rig. Oh, Jesus. Then it was cut from the film. $30,000. That's why the movie cost so much, guys. And then you complained that you made... Okay, rom-coms are a niche movie anyway, right? And I kind of agree with what another person said there. You made a niche within a niche, kind of like... rom-coms are a niche, but then you also made it LGBTQ. Not many people went out to see it. Not even LGBTQ people went out to see it. So having things that cost $30,000 a piece in it, that's why your budget got inflated. That's why people... It's just like, I don't understand the producers in this movie. I don't. Just kind of needs to... Oof. But go see Smile. Smile is good. And then this weekend, I'm not hearing good things about Amsterdam, but I'm going to go and see it tomorrow, mostly because of Taylor Swift, for sure. And that's the Backlash Corner, guys. We're 12:58. We're going to round out by taking a look at what's on the old Twitterverse. And then in half an hour, we're going to be watching... Andor. Episode 5, which I'm excited for because they're going to be attacking this base and trying to run away from TIE fighters, and I hope it's going to be high action. Okay. Yep. That's it. Did I refresh? I did refresh. No, I didn't. All right. Let's pull up the Twitterverse. Because this is where we learn things like the Mario poster and stuff like that, guys. Come on. Let me put on some back tunage. An extended trailer for Bones and All. Taylor Russell, Timothée Chalamet has been released. Okay. That's the one where he's running with this girl away from... he's running away from... Bridge of Spies guy. Who's that guy? Mark Rylance, right? 9 years ago today. Gravity. Wow, that's 9 years ago. First trailer for Violent Night. Yeah, we saw that. Kate Blanchett and Todd Field on the Criterion Closet. Hey, I kind of like watching those every now and then on YouTube. Movie stars and directors come into this Criterion collection and pull their favorite films First teaser for Mario will be released tomorrow. Pay attention for that, guys. Pay attention for that. Why is Joker trending? Blumhouse Spawn movie is getting a jolt of creative energy with writers for Joker and Captain America 4 coming on board to write a new script. Todd McFarlane will not direct, but Jamie Foxx is still attached to star, and Todd McFarlane won't like that. He's kind of like Clive Barker was with the Hellraiser franchise. He wanted his hands all over it. And Todd McFarlane will not direct, really make him upset. Really. Because he wanted to make Spawn kind of like Jaws. He only wanted to show him in small sequences. And you can't make a movie about Spawn and just have him in the background, right? So Joker's Scott Silver and Falcon and Winter Soldier's Malcolm Spellman and Matt Mixon are teaming up for a new feature to write the script for Blumhouse. So it's going to be under Blumhouse. Jason Blum, he's going to have a firm hold of that for sure. A hold of those reins for Spawn. And that's something that definitely does need an update. Spawn. And Jamie Foxx as Spawn would be cool. I'd be on board for that. All right. If it's worth anything more tomorrow, we'll be talking about that tomorrow. Hey, it's a 24-hour news cycle, guys. Yeah. Spawn, Joker. Weird. Trailer for Frank Berry's Aisha with Letitia Wright has been released. Aisha. I don't even know what the heck that's about. But I like Letitia Wright. Journey Smollett and Caitlin Dever at Louis Vuitton. 4 years ago, a star was born. Really, 4 years? Lee Pace. Now, you see, if you put Lee Pace in a movie like Bros, people would go see that. Right? Lee Pace? Maybe with Luke Evans. Put some of that $22 million towards the talent instead of toys. Like Bros. Black Adam is expected to debut with 60. This projection is a little bit lower. Deadline projected it a little bit, 5 million less. What was it? Hollywood Reporter said 70 to 75, and I think it'll make 70 to 75 easy. Constance Wu on harassment on Fresh Off the Boat. Dahmer. Okay. Ranks behind Stranger Things 4 as Netflix's second most watched English language series. I said my piece about Dahmer. He did a good performance. But it wasn't earth-shattering, it wasn't groundbreaking performance. It's really hard to weigh in on that stuff because it's the people that were victims of that, their family members are all still alive. It's still fresh. You hear things like the family members are not happy with them capitalizing and making money on this, even though that the series itself says that they didn't want to make money from the victims, and it's dicey. Watch it for Richard Jenkins, the father. The guy who plays the father's in that. He does a fantastic job. Watching his son, realizing his son is like this. He has a couple of very powerful moments. Frasier reboot. What's going on with these things? This was announced like a year and a half, 2 years ago that they were doing a Frasier reboot, and they still haven't come out. There was going to be a Night Court reboot. That was like a year ago. They shot the pilot and there still hasn't come out. What's going on, man? TV stuff. What's this? Following sold out Beyond Fest screening, RR&R returns to theaters. I still need to see RR&R. But I'm waiting for the Telugu. I'm waiting to get a hold of the Telugu version. I don't want the Hindi dubbed version. Emily Watson and Shirley Henderson will lead HBO's Dune: The Sisterhood. Cool. Yeah, I heard about this. Dune is going to be on the HBO Max as a series, The Sisterhood. It's about those women that can see the future and they have like shaved heads, right? Can't go wrong with Emily Watson. She's fantastic. Cool. That's cool. The Benny Jesuit or whatever they're called. Cool. What's this? Mike Faced joins Austin Butler, Jodie Comer, and Tom Hardy. Next season's Bike Riders. Okay. Filming The Bike Riders, Austin Butler and Jodie Comer and Tom Hardy. Oh wait, that's not the next season. Norman Reedus is going to be in that. Oh, okay. The Bike Riders. That's that movie. Set in the 1960s, and it follows the rise of a fictional Midwestern motorcycle club. Austin Butler just played Elvis. He's going to be in Dune Part 2. That's cool. And Tom Hardy speaks for himself. Jodie Comer's, her name is on the rise as well. Elizabeth Olsen denies rumors that she's joining the cast of House of Dragon. What? And alongside Henry Cavill. How random. Why him? Why me? I can't even think of how random that is. I don't even know that guy either. She said, yeah. What? Where did this come up from? It better not be. I'm not even going to click that link. I'm guessing because people saw Henry Cavill with silver hair in The Witcher that they think that he could play a Targaryen. Oh, that'd be cool if he played the Mad King. But if he's gonna play a Mad King, I want to see him play Arthas, the Lich King in a Warcraft movie. And of course, Elizabeth Olsen is talent wherever she goes. McKenna Grace, Spider and Jesse. The movie follows two sisters who, after discovering their mother has fatally overdosed, hide her body, terrified that they'll separated by a foster care system. Shades of Smile. Okay, and there's the Chanel poster. All right, there's the Twitter roundup for today, guys. I don't think there's any other big news headlines out there. Maybe I'll pull up the old Reddit roundup. What did I used to call that? We did the Twitter roundup. I used to call it something. Okay, Reddit. Why are you taking so slow? Movies. There you go. Movies and discussions. What's going on here? Nicolas Cage was never paid for his Oscar-winning role in Leaving Las Vegas. Really? He was good in that. So was Elizabeth Shue. Looks like Hans Zimmer has a new documentary out. Rust, Spawn. Yeah, we just talked about Spawn. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about that more tomorrow, guys. I'll read that article and we'll talk about it. Highlander brings a kind of magic to 4K. Okay, so the Highlander's a 4K release. Mortals. Lots of 4K releases. All right, I'm not seeing too much in here, guys. All right. Oh, that's it then. That's it for today. Let's do what we normally do. Let's jam. And then we'll call it a day. Guys, join us in 20 minutes. I'm only going to jam for about 5-10 minutes, and then we'll take a 10-minute break and come back and watch Andor. So if you came here for the movie news, it's all done. But if you come here for some jamming, why not? Why not? I don't know what I feel like playing today. Cool, man. All right, I'm going to take a bit more of a longer break today. Join me in 14 minutes, guys, for Andor. I'm going to make some coffee and give myself enough time to make sure I hit that 1:30 deadline. And let me know what you thought on the day's stories, and if not, I'll see you tomorrow for more movie news here on Mirror Domains.